Autoscaling. What is it? How does it work? And why hasn't it made website crashes a thing of the past? Before we understand how autoscaling works, we need a basic understanding of how websites work. Behind every website is one or more physical servers. Servers provide the computing power to serve data to site visitors. These days, most websites are hosted on cloud-based servers. Hosting your website in the cloud is like renting a house. You pay your cloud service provider for access to the computing power your site needs. Big sales like Black Friday or a product drop are like hosting parties. To make additional space for these parties, you can rent the surrounding houses or servers to increase your capacity. But when you're renting additional servers for a major sale, it involves a lot of guesswork and monitoring. For a real-world party, you can request RSVPs, but sales on websites are open to all. It can cost a lot if you overestimate attendance and can be a disaster if you underestimate attendance. This is where autoscaling can help. So what is autoscaling? Put simply, autoscaling means automatically adjusting server capacity according to load. With autoscaling, additional space is automatically made available to you. When it's configured right, more neighboring houses keep becoming available to you as more people arrive. This lets you build elasticity into your system, and it reduces the need to monitor and predict traffic levels. Autoscaling saves money on the quiet days and preserves performance on the big ones. Or at least that's the hope. As anyone who hosts a high traffic website knows, autoscaling isn't the cure-all it sounds like. So why do websites with autoscaling still crash? The first reason autoscaling hasn't made crashes a thing of the past is simple. Autoscaling is reactive and not proactive. This means your site will automatically scale up as traffic rises, but if it surges too suddenly, you may not be able to spin up new servers fast enough. This means sudden and large traffic spikes can crash sites even with autoscaling. The second reason is a bit more complicated. So let's assume you have autoscaling set up perfectly. There's still a glaring problem that most people gloss over. You can't just take any off-the-shelf software product and scale it. There's always crippling bottlenecks in the application. A bottleneck is a point of congestion in a system. To use our party analogy, you might have room for everyone, but if you have security checking IDs and invitations, they can only let so many people in at once. So as you scale up your party, you'll realize capacity isn't just about space. Security is one example of a bottleneck, but they're all over the place. What happens when the catering company runs out of food? When you have 4 bathrooms for 1,000 people? When hallways become congested, or trash cans fill up, or you run out of cups? Cracks appear as more people keep coming, and you discover space is only one limiting factor when hosting an event. This is the problem e-commerce sites face when autoscaling for big sales days. Their server capacity may be elastic, but crucial points in the user journey aren't. Bottlenecks like these often appear at checkout. When you're hosting a big Black Friday sale and masses of customers rush to checkout at once, several problems can arise. Performance-intensive features like dynamic search and personalization can slow your site. Customers can overload payment gateways, causing payments to fail at checkout. You can oversell products as your inventory system becomes overloaded. So even if you autoscale your site to handle millions of visitors, if too many of them perform specific actions at the same time, your website goes kaput. You might be wondering, why can't I just autoscale my site's bottlenecks? The problem is, increasing the capacity of these bottlenecks requires a lot more work than simply spinning up new servers. It requires optimization of performance, changes to business logic, higher expenses for third-party services, downgrading the user experience, and sometimes even downtime. This is not only a resource-intensive process, but is often impractical and is sometimes impossible. Most websites are set up for performance under their usual load. So changing core processes for events that only happen a couple times a year is typically more work than it's worth. All of this isn't to say autoscaling is useless. It isn't. Autoscaling is likely to save you cloud computing costs and gives you breathing room if traffic grows. But autoscaling is just one tool in your crash prevention toolkit. And if traffic surges suddenly, or all your users take action in quick succession, autoscaling typically isn't enough to keep your website from crashing. As you've seen, this happens on companies' biggest days, when they're launching a new product, hosting a major sale, or running a massive marketing campaign. If you've enjoyed this video, check out the other videos in our series, and head to qit.com for more content like this.